It was supposed to be a quiet return. Shedeur Sanders, the rookie quarterback with a last name that carries more weight than some entire franchises, was just supposed to ease back into Browns training camp. Oblique injuries don't play around, and for quarterbacks, they're the kind that can haunt you for months, messing with your release, your timing, your trust in your own body. So yeah, expectations were modest. Ease in, take it slow. No hero ball. But Shedeur had other plans. If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed. Because what happened at Browns camp this week wasn't just a return, it was a resurgence, a statement, a reminder to every scout, every coach, every talking head in the media who spent the offseason wondering if he's more hype than substance. Let's go ahead and answer that right now. He's real, and he's here. And let's be very clear. This wasn't just good practice energy. This was game-ready precision, wrapped in calm, wrapped in fire. He didn't just show he was healthy. He showed he was dangerous. The footwork? Clean and tight like he was wearing the field on a string. The release? Lightning fast. One moment the ball was in his hand. The next it was whistling through the air with purpose, slicing through the Ohio humidity. And then came the throw. You know the one. The one that everyone's talking about now. The 35-yard fade to tight and Cole McDonald in double coverage. A throw with touch, with placement, with vision. The kind of throw you don't attempt unless you know who you are. And the kind of throw that you only land if you have total control of your game. And guess what? He nailed it. Right in the breadbasket. Defender never stood a chance. That throw wasn't just a completion. It was a metaphor. Because just when everyone thought they had Shedeur figured out, just when the noise, the brand, the nil talk, that he's only here because of his dad narrative started to creep louder than the tape, he did what he always does. Let the football talk. But let's not sugarcoat it. This comeback didn't happen in a vacuum. Shedeur's rise hasn't just been about talent. It's been about narrative, about how people, especially in the media, struggle to separate confidence from cockiness, joy from distraction, family from favoritism. And when you're a young black quarterback who plays with charisma and leads with swag, oh, the takes come flying. He's too polished. He's a brand before he's a starter. Is he even taking football seriously? It's tired. It's lazy. And frankly, it says more about the system than it does about Shedeur. Because let's get something straight. Shedeur Sanders hasn't even played a regular season snap in the NFL, and he's already the most talked about quarterback on the Browns roster. Not because of drama, not because of antics, but because he just keeps showing up and doing the work. And that scares people, because it doesn't fit the old mold. He's not hiding his personality. He's not dimming his light to make others comfortable. He's not pretending to be just happy to be here. He's got style. He's got poise. He's got presence. And he plays like a dude who knows what's coming. That's what makes this comeback moment at camp so powerful. He didn't ask for the spotlight. He just stepped into it when it was handed to him. And did you notice? While other QBs around the league have been stumbling through camp, Dylan Gabriel throwing inconsistent reps, Kenny Pickett looking like a guy searching for his rhythm, Shedeur has been elevating, quietly, steadily. While the camera's zooming on the drama, he's just climbing. No fuss, no flash, just football. And that's the real story. But let's talk about the pressure for a second. Because the stake for Shedeur? Sky high. He's the son of Deion Sanders, a Hall of Famer, a sports icon, a man who's literally built his own media universe. The comparisons are baked in. The expectations come with the name. And for most young athletes, that would be a suffocating shadow. But for Shedeur, it's fuel. He doesn't run from it. He doesn't resent it. He channels it. And that's why he looks so unbothered when the media starts frothing at the mouth over his confidence, or when fans try to peg him as overhyped. He's heard it all before. It didn't stop him at Jackson State. It didn't stop him at Colorado. And it sure as hell isn't stopping him in Cleveland. What's even more impressive, he's doing all this while balancing a public image most rookies would crumble under. The brand is growing. The endorsements are rolling in. He's a walking empire in the making. But you'd never know it based on how he operates in the locker room. No ego, no entourage. Just headphones in, notes in hand, ready to work. He's not chasing stardom. He's earning it. And you can tell the coaches are noticing. Every time Shedeur drops a dime in practice, you can feel the tone shift. There's no more he's a rookie, let's be patient energy. It's starting to feel like, wait, should this guy be playing now? Because let's not forget, Joe Flacco might have been named the Week 1 starter, but that decision felt more like a placeholder than a plan. A nod to experience. A hedge against risk. But if Shedeur keeps stacking practices like this, that decision is going to age like milk in the sun. And let's be honest, Cleveland fans are already clamoring. They know what they're seeing. You can't hide talent. You can't bench momentum. And when the guy on the bench is playing like a starter in every live rep, the chants are coming. Shedeur, Shedeur, Shedeur. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. Because this isn't a comeback story anymore. This is an arrival. So let's recap. He battled back from injury. Check. He silenced the doubters with a performance. Check. He's outperforming veterans at camp. Check. And he's doing it all while carrying the weight of a famous name, a booming brand, and the kind of scrutiny most rookies never face until after their first primetime meltdown. That's not luck. That's leadership. That's quarterback DNA. So now the question shifts not is Shedeur ready, but are the Browns brave enough to let him lead? Because if this camp has shown us anything, it's this. Shedeur Sanders didn't just prove himself this week. He proved that the moment is no longer too big for him. The moment is about to be his. So what do you think? Should Shedeur be getting real reps this season? Or is Cleveland playing it too safe? Are fans overhyping? Or is this the real deal unfolding right in front of us? Drop your takes in the comments. Hit that subscribe and keep it locked because this isn't just a Shedeur Sanders story anymore. It's the beginning of a movement. Let's be brutally honest. The Browns are standing on the edge of something massive, and if they're not careful, they're going to blink. Because Shedeur Sanders, despite the noise, despite the expectations, despite not starting a single NFL game, has already become the most magnetic force in that building. Every practice rep is a headline. Every clean release, every perfect read, every subtle adjustment at the line of scrimmage, it's all building to a moment that feels inevitable. But instead of embracing it, what's Cleveland doing? Tiptoeing around it. You can feel it in the interviews. Everyone's talking in riddles. Coaches say things like, we're excited about his development, or he's picking up the playbook well. Translation, we know he's balling out, but we're too scared to make a bold call right now. It's a tale as old as the NFL. A young quarterback shows flashes. People say slow down. He performs under pressure. They say it's just practice. He recovers from injury and still looks sharp. They say we're easing him in. And you know what usually happens next? He sits. He sits while the safe choice goes out there and throws 6-yard outs on 3RD and 12. He sits while the team tries to grind out ugly wins. He sits while the narrative slowly starts to shift from future the franchise to development project. But Shedeur, he's not letting that happen. Because everything about the way he's handling Brown's camp says one thing. This job's mine. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But it's mine. And the people who really watch football, really study the game, can see it too. You don't need to be a quarterback whisperer to recognize what Shedeur's doing out there. It's not hype. It's execution. Clean, deliberate, surgical execution. And here's the real kicker. He's doing all this while under a microscope most rookies would crumble beneath. Every throw is dissected. Every facial expression. Every Instagram post. Every moment of quiet confidence gets turned into a think piece. Why is he smiling? Why is he wearing a luxury watch? Why is he filming a vlog? But here's what the critics are missing. He's still doing the work. While the media swirls with distractions and fake narratives, Shedeur's still up at 5 a.m. watching tape. Still the first on the field. Still outworking people who've been in the league for 5 years. This isn't just branding. It's balance. The rare kind. And yet, even with that balance, Even with the stellar practices and the bounce back from injury and the undeniable energy shift every time he steps on the field, some people still can't get past the surface. They see the Sanders name and assume it's all flash. They hear his confidence and twist it into arrogance. They watch him celebrate a touchdown throw in practice and say, he's too Hollywood. But let's flip that question for a second. Why is joy treated like a red flag? Why is it a problem when a young black quarterback is charismatic, self-assured, and unapologetically joyful in a game that's supposed to be fun? Why are other quarterbacks allowed to be fiery or emotional or gritty, while Shedeur's demeanor gets picked apart like it's a flaw? Why is Dylan Gabriel, who's been struggling through camp, still being framed as toughing it out, while Shedeur, who's slicing up defenses in practice, is accused of riding on his father's reputation? This isn't just a football story anymore. This is a cultural story, a narrative war, one that Shedeur is stuck in the middle of whether he wants to be or not. But here's the twist. He's not fighting the narrative. He's just rising above it. Every time he steps on the field and throws a laser to the sideline or rolls out and drops a dime on a run, he's rewriting the script, not by clapping back, not by getting into media battles, but by being so undeniably good that the noise stops mattering. And it's working. The fan base sees it. The players see it. And whether they say it publicly or not, the coaches definitely see it. You can't fake command. You can't manufacture timing. You either have the poise under pressure or you don't. And Shedeur Sanders, he has it. Let's talk about what happens when he starts getting real reps. The locker room is going to shift, not out of loyalty or politics, but because players follow performance. If he gets on the field and starts delivering drives, hitting big throws, showing that same composure he's had since Jackson State, they're going to ride with him. Veterans want to win, period. They don't care if you got a beard or a brand. If you can lead a huddle, move the chains, and make defenses respect you, they'll follow you through fire. And Shedeur, that's exactly what he's built for. The question now is whether the front office has the guts to get out of their own way. Because right now, they're operating like a team terrified to make the wrong move. Start the rookie too early and lose? You'll get roasted. Wait too long and the season slips away? You'll get crucified. But playing scared gets you nowhere. This isn't the league of maybe. This is the league of now. And right now, Shedeur Sanders is cooking. He's proving it every day. With every rep, every deep ball, every no-look check down, every audible at the line that shows he's reading the game at a different level. And the Browns? They've got a decision to make. Do they keep pretending Joe Flacco is more than a stopgap? Do they play it safe and keep Shedeur in the shadows? Or do they recognize what's happening and say what everyone's thinking? The future is already here. He's not just knocking on the door anymore. He's halfway through it. So here's the bottom line. Shedeur Sanders doesn't need hype. He doesn't need defenders. And he sure doesn't need to wait for permission. He just needs one chance. And if this camp is any indication, that chance is coming fast. So what's it going to be, Cleveland? You riding with the past? Or ready to roll into the future? Because Shedeur's already there. Now it's just up to the rest of you to catch up. Let's not sugarcoat it. Cleveland's got a quarterback sitting on gold and pretending it's gravel. Every throw Shedeur Sanders makes at camp isn't just a rep. It's a warning shot. A message to every coach, every GM, every salty analyst still talking about nil deals and last names. You can't keep this man off the field much longer. He's not just showing up. He's showing out. And yet, the Browns are still treating him like a developmental project, not the rocket arm pressure-proof, culture-shifting quarterback he clearly is. Let's rewind the clock. This time last year, Shedeur was still Deion's son, a flashy college QB, a guy everyone respected but few believed would break the mold. Some said he benefited from the spotlight his father created. Others questioned if he could handle a pro system, a pro locker room, a pro pass rush. And yet here he is, not only handling it, but thriving in it. After an oblique injury that would sideline most rookies for half the preseason, Shedeur came back not tentative, not rusty, not playing scared. He came back dialed in. He's not just participating, he's commanding, adjusting protections, calling out blitzes, zipping throws into windows that most rookies would hesitate to even look at. And the media? Oh, they see it now. But instead of giving him credit, they've shifted the conversation entirely. They're not talking about his footwork, or his field vision, or his uncanny timing with receivers. They're talking about his followers, his watch collection, his swag. Because when you're a young black quarterback with confidence and joy, suddenly the conversation pivots from, wow, look at the talent, to, but is he too flashy? Funny how that works. And let's be real, the narrative game around Shedeur isn't just outdated. It's insulting, because behind all the surface-level noise, this is a quarterback who studies film like a 10-year vet, who's first in the building and last to leave, who watches his own missed throws on loop until he figures out what went wrong and how to never let it happen again, who's playing chess while the critics are still arguing over checkers. You think he's worried about noise? Please, this is a guy who grew up in the noise. He's had cameras in his face since Pop Warner. He knows the game. He knows how to handle it. And he knows how to shut it down with performance. Exactly what he's doing in Cleveland right now. And still, he's QB3. Let that sink in. QB3, behind Dylan Gabriel, who, respectfully, has looked more like a backup's backup than an actual threat this camp. And Joe Flacco, who's done his job admirably over the years. But let's be real. He's not your future. So what are we doing here? Why are the Browns hesitating? Is it fear? Is it politics? Is it the pressure of making yet another quarterback decision in a city that has been emotionally waterboarded by QB drama since the 90s? Because this doesn't feel like strategy anymore. It feels like stalling. And the truth is, Shedeur doesn't need the Browns to anoint him. He's already taken over the conversation. He's already won over the locker room in ways they're not going to admit publicly just yet. He's already proven he can go toe-to-toe with NFL defenders and beat them with placement, with patience, with precision. And that's the part that can't be faked. Anyone can look flashy in camp. But when the red zone tightens and the defense gets chippy, when you got 3 seconds and a safety barreling toward your ribs, you find out real quick who's ready and who's pretending. And Shedeur? He's ready. He's delivering fades in rhythm. He's threading slants through linebackers like he's been doing it since birth. He's adjusting mid-play, taking what the defense gives him, and never looking rattled. That's not hype. That's not marketing. That's quarterbacking. And yet the narrative continues to lag behind reality. Because it's safer, isn't it? Safer to keep calling him a project. Safer to pretend he's just the future, not the present. Safer to wait. Delay. Postpone the inevitable. But you can only delay a star for so long. Eventually, the game demands answers. The locker room starts whispering. The crowd gets louder. The first 2 losses of the season hit, and suddenly, that rookie sitting behind the clipboard starts looking more and more like the lifeline. You think the fans won't notice? Let Shedeur get even 10 minutes of garbage time in a real game. Let him toss a 50-yard rope or lead a quick scoring drive when the game's already lost. Cleveland will lose its mind. Twitter will combust. Start Shedeur signs will start popping up at practice. ESPN will be live from Berea before sunrise. It's coming. It's just a matter of how long the Browns want to play dumb. And let's talk about why Shedeur's moment matters. Because it's not just about football. It's about representation. It's about evolution. It's about breaking the mold. For decades, the ideal NFL quarterback has been stoic, robotic, media-trained into oblivion. No flash. No fire, just silent leadership, and let's take it one game at a time, sound bites. And then comes Shedeur, wearing chains, speaking honestly, playing with joy, owning his identity, not shying away from who he is, but channeling all of that into performance that backs it up. And suddenly, that mold looks tired, dusty, outdated, because here's the reality that's setting in slowly but surely. Shedeur Sanders is not a distraction. He's a blueprint. The next wave of quarterbacks, they'll look more like him than like the old-school prototypes. They'll bring joy to the field and swagger to the podium. And they'll do it all while putting up numbers, leading teams, and commanding respect. Shedeur is the prototype of the modern leader. And the Browns are sitting on him like he's a maybe. He's not a maybe. He's a must. So now the clock's ticking, because you can only bottle lightning for so long before the cap blows off. And when it does, when Shedeur finally gets that chance, be it by injury, desperation, or simply because the coaching staff can't keep pretending anymore, he's not walking in quietly. He's not asking for a shot. He's taking it. And when he does, the whole NFL is going to feel it. Because this isn't just a kid with potential. This is a storm. Calm, calculated, but inevitable. So what are we doing, Cleveland? Still stalling? Still pretending he's not cooking right in front of your eyes? Still leaning on experience while your most dangerous weapon stands on the sideline? Or are you finally ready to roll the dice on a guy who doesn't need a safety net? Because if you don't, someone else will. Shedeur's not waiting. He's preparing. He's already leading. All that's left is for someone to give him the mic.